Okay. Hello, my name is Kevin Ward, and this is my SDI 1206 video review for week 3, third project. I'll be talking about my Puggle Rampage story. I kept that theme and all the required things I need to talk about. First off, problems I encountered or found to be harder. Problem I encountered was probably the flowcharts. They're confusing to me. But I still did it, and I think it looks good. I used all the elements that I could, and copied what elements I needed and stuff like that. Let's see. Second, things I thought were easier than it should have been. Not really sure what exactly would have been easier. Objects actually were pretty cool, and then finally understanding the JSON data, that was pretty cool. Once it clicked in my head, it was like really easy to figure out and use it in the code. Third, how did this activity fit in with the rest? It added on to what we've already learned. It added a lot of extra information, and kind of goes on with number 4, how are the lessons going to help in the future. They'll help with stuff like JavaScript, or not JavaScript, Java, Objective-C. It'll help us understand data types and stuff like that, and hopefully get our coding a lot better. Now, the extra questions. How did I do with building my own flowchart? I sucked at it, frankly. I'm not very good at creating things on my own too well, like a flowchart. My brain doesn't seem to work the same way. So it was a little awkward and a little hard, but I did it, and hopefully it'll give me a good grade. Was it easier or harder to work with fewer constraints? I'd say it was a little harder. Actually, a lot harder. Building the code with what we were given, doing our own flowcharts was a lot harder than I expected. And yeah, since this was the last story of the month, did I get to tell an interesting story? I think I did. I added a lot of interesting tidbits with my dogs. I did the JSON data of dogs, and then had both our dogs in there as objects, and then just pulled information about both of them in a loop, and that was the backstory pretty much. It worked really well for what I wanted it to do. Alright, I talked about all the elements needed for this project, including extra tidbits about this week's elements. And thank you and good night.